Veriswap has grown to be the leading platform for trading cards online. So today, I wanted to bring on Raymond, the founder of Veriswap, to give us secret inside tips about getting the best trades on Veriswap and to learn a lot more about the platform. And I'm showing off a couple of my cards that I've got for trade on Veriswap now. Raymond, good to see you. Absolutely. Glad we get to catch up here on the show floor. I think a lot of people are going to be interested in this video because trading here at the National has been such a big thing. People have seen me doing all of these big trades at trade night and here at our sports card investor booth. Yet trading takes place every day of the year, 24 hours a day on Veriswap. You are the founder of Veriswap, the biggest platform there is to do trades that exists. And so I know a lot of people are interested, but I also know a lot of people have questions. And that's what I want to dig in with you today. We've also got some awesome cards to show off to everybody as well. Let's start, just for folks who maybe aren't super familiar with Veriswap, what is Veriswap?
Yeah, for sure. So I built Veriswap to kind of be an extension of the in-person trading experience, right? Kind of like, think about replicating the in-person trading experience online when you're not at a show, right? So on our platform, you can offer cards for cards, cards plus cash for other cards, basically any sort of combination that kind of extends beyond the typical marketplace where you just buy a card for cash.
Right. Talk to me about the range of like what people trade on Veriswap. Is this all high-end stuff? Are there lower-end cards? What do you see?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say it's a mix of everything. I would say mainly it tends towards modern. Most of our trading volume is in cards 2017 or later. About 80% of that is Jason Tatum's rookie year, and afterwards. A mix of high-end and low-end. We do have a lot of high-end trades featured on our Instagram page, but there's a lot of lower-end trades that happen as well.
Yeah, and so this is you got an app, right? The Veriswap app. You got a website, which by the way, both got a facelift recently.
Exactly,
I saw.
yeah.
Very nice, new, cool interface to both of them. So people just get the app, go on the website, list their cards to trade, take some photos, put in the card information. I've noticed it's really easy if it's a graded card. Because if it's a graded card, especially if it's a newer one, you're actually pulling in like the photos from PSA, for example. So you kind of auto-populate the listing for them.
Yeah, exactly. We link to the PSA database. So all you need to do is literally just enter the cert number on the card. And if PSA has a cert, you'll be able to pull the front and the back and all the classification info. One thing that we actually want to do later is also image recognition, right? So say, for example, you have 4 cards on the table, snap a photo of the cards, it'll be able to instantly recognize the numbers on the serial, on the slabs, and then upload everything all in one go.
That's awesome. Super, super cool. Okay, I want to get into some of the secrets of the platform because we might have some people watching who are already big Veriswap users. So I'm curious about things like, for example, is there a time of day that's better to do business on Veriswap where maybe you get better replies to your trade deals?
Yeah, actually, I'm curious, Geoff. What would you guess would be kind of the hot times?
I would guess probably evenings. Maybe I'm thinking in my mind correlating it to when you see a lot of auction activity on other marketplaces, and Sunday evenings, for example, are probably your hottest time of the week for auctions. So, is it that?
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of weekends, obviously for full days, weekdays. Honestly, like late night Eastern time, I would say is probably like our hottest times. The number of requests we get for dark mode is crazy because people they trade in bed, they trade late after work, on the couch. So that's kind of the peak highlights. But then people also trade during work, which is pretty interesting to me as well.
Yeah. What do people get wrong when they're doing trades on Veriswap? Like where have you seen things maybe not go the way people would hope?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing by far is pricing. As a platform, we want people to price fairly according to comps. I always listen to user feedback. We kind of hear that the biggest piece of feedback that people get is like, stuff is priced significantly over comps. We want to fix that. So the biggest recommendation I would give for people trading on the platform is to price fairly, because eventually people will look up the prices anyways, especially for large deals, right? So, it's really important to kind of do your research and get the attention, for a card being priced fairly. We have data showing that a card that's priced to comps gets 7 to 8 times more offers than one that is priced 20% over comps, 30% over comps. So
okay, that's
really important.
That's a power tip right there. That's a power tip. So if you price your cards at comps, you're going to get 7 to 8 times more offers.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow. That's quite the stat you just tossed out there.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Wow, people need to definitely be aware of that then. And then what about like, do you see any people like kind of building relationship through the platform? Is that important on a platform like this?
Yeah, for us it's really important. Like we're not just a marketplace. We want to be a trading community where people, when they think about trading, when they think about trade nights, they think about Veriswap. So we want people to build relationships and kind of have that hobby experience outside of just the app as well.
Yeah, and so if somebody out there is watching and they just want to, they're excited right now and they just want to jump right in when they download the app. And by the way, guys, promo code SCI, use that as you're getting the Veriswap app. We got it on the screen here as well, because that gives you $15 free.
$15 free, yes, correct.
In trade credit, so you can use that towards your first trade, which is super helpful. What's the quickest way for somebody to is there an express way to do trades here?
Yeah, just like you said, there's an express interest feature.
Yeah.
So, instead of submitting a full trade offer where it's like, Geoff, I'll trade you LeBron Kaboom for Fleer Jordan, right? You can express interest. So I can basically look at your showcase, right? And then, pick which one of the cards in your showcase that, I'm interested in.
I see. So that's, right. So that's where if you just want to kind of get quick into this, instead of maybe creating a detailed trade offer at first,
correct,
you can just reach out. It's basically like the equivalent of going up to a dealer table at a card show and saying, oh, I got some interest in that card and that card and that card. And then from there, you can see if there's some type of deal to be made, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I basically wanted to replicate the in-person trading experience because it's what people are most used to at the National. Everyone's kind of following that same model of like, oh, I like this card and you like this card, right? So I just wanted to move that experience online.
How do you know if you get a trade offer on Veriswap, how do you know if the deal is fair?
Depends on the card. Like for me personally, so I was the first trader on the platform. For me personally, for kind of the cards that are more liquid, I'd obviously look at marketplaces for comps, right? Look at sold listings. For things that are more rare, like for example, you have a Wemby patch auto.
Yeah, we're going to show these in a second.
Yeah, we'll show these in a sec. Secret teaser. I would kind of look at similar cards that have sold, right, and kind of triangulate and kind of guess values based on the print run, patch quality, auto quality, right, and kind of arrive at an estimate of the value. Okay.
Yeah, that obviously makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah.
Let me show actually a few of my cards. I got a few more questions for you too.
Yeah, let's do it.
This one actually, this is a card that I actually traded on Veriswap. So I got this in a trade on Veriswap. I had this one shipped to me instead of being put into the vault, and I want to talk about that option in a minute as well because I've also been using the vault heavily. But this card is several $100s, upwards of maybe $1,000 or so. And I'm really happy to get this card. I love Steph Curry. This is a gold out of 10 game use patch from 2017 National Treasures. So somebody offered me this card as part of a trade, and as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, that's a good one. I got to have that card. So this is a fun one. I've had this with me at the National. And then a couple of cards that I have up on the Veriswap platform right now for trade. I got a couple of big boys up here, Raymond. How do you feel about these ones right here?
I love these. I love these Wemby Mercury patches. Those are awesome.
Yeah, they're game used, obviously. The 1 of 1 Super Fractor and the red out of 5, card number 1 out of 5. I think they're beautiful cards. And then just in time for football season, I've got one of Joe Burrow's best National Treasures RPAs ever.
Beautiful.
His midnight card number 1 of 5, which I'm putting up there. So I've got a small handful of things on Veriswap and always looking for the right offers. You've got you got some really cool cards as well. Why don't you show a few of these off here, Raymond?
So I have these listed on the app. 5 Ronaldo flawless patch autos from 2015.
Wow.
I bought these a long time ago because it's flawless soccer's only year. It's Ronaldo's only game-worn patch auto, right? So I just kind of racked them up over the years, and lo and behold, I ended up with a couple of them.
Yeah, more than a couple.
Yeah. So these are also available to trade as a lot on the Veriswap app.
Oh, so you put them all as a lot. Wow.
Yeah, so people do that on the app as well. They'll kind of list a bunch of cards, right, to kind of move larger chunks and upload faster, which I would recommend compared to kind of doing things one by one.
Yeah. Okay, that's really fascinating. So, talk to me about the logistics of somebody does a trade with somebody else on Veriswap, gets a trade accepted. What happens? What goes on behind the scenes? How does that whole process work?
Yeah, that's a good question. So immediately, both users will be prompted to generate a shipping label. Can make a shipping label through our app. They'll package the items.
And you make that easy, by the way. Like it just automatically pops, gives you a bunch of choices in terms of what type of postage you want, right? UPS or Postal Service, FedEx, and then you just select one and it prints a label for you right away.
Yeah, exactly. You can generate a label within the app. Once you print the label, package it properly, drop it off at the post office. Always recommend scanning the item. A lot of people kind of have delays because their local post office, is backed up. I recommend scanning at the counter so we know that it's coming, right? And so your trade partner knows that it's coming. And then once both sides arrive, we check it in. We try to check things in the day after we receive them for fastest turnaround time. And then we make sure that A, all the cards inside are there, and then B, that they're authentic. Right,
and that's an important part, I'm sure, too.
Exactly. Yeah, if there's any questions about the authenticity, if we're not sure, then we'll question the trade. Right, we'll block it if we're sure it's inauthentic, and then we'll proceed from there.
Okay.
In the case that if something inauthentic does slip through, we have a full money back guarantee on the card. Right. So, I know there have been past experiences where inauthentic items may have been shipped. Right. Those were all made right. People were fully made whole or refunded on those cards. So we do have an authenticity guarantee, similar to a lot of the other companies out there as well.
Okay, well that's good to know. If I go on the Veriswap platform and let's say I'm searching for this, or I'm searching for some other specific player or set or sport, what's the best way for me to be searching to be able to find things, on the platform?
Yeah, so we actually recently updated our save search feature.
Okay.
So, you can save whatever searches that you've put in the bar, similar to eBay. And then now we also have alerts. So basically whenever an item, say for example you put a Mahomes flawless, right? Whenever an item is listed, you'll be alerted immediately across the Veriswap platform, right? So you'll kind of get first dibs to it before anyone else sees it, right? So that's kind of a new feature that we pushed forward as well.
And you've got like preferences or groups in there? Like I've seen some things like high roller and so how does all that work?
Yeah, so we have a few groups based on interest. So Pokemon, right? If you like Pokemon, you can join the Pokemon group. There's vintage cards, right? If you want to join that. High Roller right now is currently a group that's open to people who have done large trades. I believe it's trades over $40,000 for one trade over $40,000.
Wow.
And then there's other modern 90s inserts groups. So there's a little bit for everyone. So we wanted to basically group together, create the communities within the app. To allow people to find what they want.
You talked about the importance of pricing well on the app in order to get the most trade offers back. How do you suggest people look up prices, look up comps to make sure that they are pricing properly or that the offers they're getting are fair?
Yeah, for sure. So first and foremost, market movers.
Okay.
Second,
that.
I recommend looking at a lot of people on our platform. They like using eBay sold listings depending on the card, right? And then kind of guessing what the value is if the exact card hasn't sold in the past, right, and kind of going from there. But I definitely recommend doing the research beforehand to kind of avoid any sort of mistakes, to pretend as if it's a real trade, right, and you're in person, right. We want people to take things seriously, to make sure that the trades don't have any issues after they're accepted.
Okay, that's good to know. Any other best practices you can share for people that are trying to do this on the platform?
Yeah, for sure. So in terms of...
I imagine images probably make a big difference,
Images make a big difference.
Okay, photos of the card?
Photos of the card. I recommend asking for as many photos as possible, even for graded cards, because sometimes the lighting of the PSA scan might not be kind of the lighting that you receive in person, right? For example, the Kobe Copps Chrome Refractor, right? It looks very different from PSA scan than it does, if you were to kind of have it in front of you, right? So recommend asking for as many photos as possible, especially for raw cards. Recommend taking that as a grain of salt. Personally, when I trade, I assume that a raw card is 8 at best, right? If it's raw, I think that it's raw for a reason, but I recommend trading for those and asking for as many photos as possible on those cards, just because you're not really sure about the condition, right? On our platform, we do a best effort to kind of block anything that has really bad damage, but then grading, as you know, is like subjective game, right? Like, I saw your video of the cards being graded different grades, going to different grading companies, right? So it's very subjective.
Yeah.
It's kind of up in the air. So we take that stance as well.
What about like response times? What would be the expectation if somebody sends you a trade offer? Like, what's the expectation on how quickly you should respond and that type of thing?
Yeah, ideally respond as soon as possible.
Sure.
I think that we find that a lot of deals close within 30 minutes or less, even big deals over $50,000, which was kind of surprising stat for me. Yeah, if you don't want something, I would recommend declining it versus like letting it die.
Just letting it die, okay.
Versus letting it die.
Sure.
Yeah, and then we're also adding a few features to like activity monitors, right? So it's like, if you're on Facebook, you can kind of see when someone's online, right? So we want to, add that in as well to kind of allow for faster communication.
I know on some marketplaces where you buy and sell, like eBay, there's some importance in kind of vetting the person you're buying from. Is that necessary in Veriswap? Should you be vetting people you get trade offers from, and if so, how?
Yes and no. If you're trading for graded cards, no need for vetting because we'll authenticate everything. We'll make sure that everything is in the described condition. If it's a raw card, highly recommend vetting the trade partner. Right? Recommend some telltale signs are people who have done a lot of trades on the platform. Right? Like those are people who haven't had issues. We have people who've done over 300 trades. Right? And then also just communication. Right? The style in which they communicate. Make sure that they're polite, that they're professional. Those are some things that I personally would look out for.
Final thing I want to ask you about, Raymond, you guys recently added a vault feature.
Yeah.
And I've started using that on a lot of my trades. It really seems to speed up the process a lot. Talk to me about the vault and how that works.
Yeah, for sure. So all of the vaulted cards are stored at our facilities, fully insured, fully secure, temperature controlled. We built that feature because there was feedback about shipping costs, right? We wanted people to be able to trade quickly without having to pay for shipping, right? If the item is stored there, no shipping costs. And then also trade instantly, right? If you trade for a vaulted card, it immediately gets transferred to your account, right? So that's how we built it. I personally use it to trade. It's been a hopefully a good experience for people who have traded in the vault so far.
It's really nice to be able to complete a trade and then not have to ship. Like,
yeah.
I love that. I've got a handful of cards, a number of cards actually now in the vaulted Veriswap, and I really enjoy trading those ones the most because I know I can complete a trade and then I'm like, accept trade, and I'm done.
Yeah.
And then the other card is getting put into my vault automatically and my card gets moved to the other person. So I now own the new card, but I never had to ship anything. I never had to go to the post office. It just all happens automatically. So as you start doing trades on Veriswap, that option for trades the cards people are trading you, that option to put those cards in your Veriswap vault just makes it so much easier if you're ever intending on re-trading that card again to have it in the vault. So it's something that it's definitely been a big time saver for me.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
We're still evolving the feature, but currently as it stands, we have a good number of cards in the pool, but we want to make some changes down the road to kind of increase that pool as well. So
this has been good. Raymond, I know we got to get you out of here. The show's about to close, but before you get out of here, anything else more you want to add for the audience about Veriswap?
I would say if any of you guys have any sort of feedback on the platform, we're always open to hearing it. My personal work email is raymond@veriswap.com. So if you have any sort of feedback, feel free to reach out there. We've built this platform on the backs of collectors and kind of their feedback throughout these years.
Yeah, you've been very responsive to customer feedback.
All these features, they were as a result of customer feedback, and we plan on using that to pave the way for the app moving forward in the years to come.
That's awesome. And the growth of the platform's been super impressive. How has it grown over the last few years?
Yeah, so in terms of card listings, we have about 350,000 listings now.
It's huge.
Especially in the high-end market.
Yep.
That's like kind of the thing that I've been most impressed by. We've been growing into other verticals. So Pokemon is something that we want to move into in the coming months, right? People will trade in that segment as well. And then we also want to add a lot of features that make the trading experience easy, right? Like right now I recognize that there are some bottlenecks, right? And people suggested to us how to remove those bottlenecks. So we want to use those suggestions to make the process a lot smoother.
That's awesome. All right, guys, this has been a lot of fun. Don't forget, download the Veriswap app or go to veriswap.com, and then it's promo code SCI for $15 free towards your first trade on Veriswap. Raymond?
Hey, pleasure,
It's been
Geoff.
a pleasure.
Take it easy.
Absolutely. Thank you. And thank you guys for watching. Check out Veriswap.